All right, welcome to today's team call. It is June 16th, and I'm so excited that you are here with us. To start off the team call, I want to recognize all the amazing new people on the team. This is like my favorite part. I love seeing all these new names and people who are willing to take a chance on themselves and say yes to their own health and fitness, say yes to building their own business and helping other people. So welcome to the team, Danielle, Sierra, Brittany, Mary Kate, Andrea, Brianna, Amanda, Kyle, Laura, Melissa, Erica, Levi, Carrie, Allie, Joy, Brandy, Dakota, and Tierra. I'm so excited to have you here. SC Rockstars. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm noticing that the SC numbers are super duper low this month. And I think, well, a lot of us are kind of recovering from everything that's been going on. But I want to remind you of the goals that you have set. And I have to remind myself, last week's team call was a huge eye-opener of how I'd been stopping myself. So shout out to you girls for getting on the board, but let's not stop here. It is only the 16th. That means we have plenty of time to make sure we are changing freaking lives. We have discounts out the wazoo going on. Like, now is the time. Right now, this moment, today. So congrats to you guys for helping other people, but don't stop here. I want to see who's committing to helping at least 3 more people by the end of this month. And if you're not, like, girlfriend, what are you doing? Let's show up and let's change freaking lives. What to know? We got a lot going on the team, and I'm so freaking excited for this. I hope you guys are just as excited. Tomorrow is Netflix movie night. I did take some suggestions on my personal page, so if you're going to join us, then go over to my personal page and go heart the ones that you want to watch, because I'm going to be picking from those. But it will be In Place of Girl Talk tomorrow. Wednesday, Netflix movie party, and I'm excited for that one. Friday night. This Friday, we are going to have a bonfire cookout at my house. It will be from, I think, 6 to 9, 5 to 9, something like that. Kids are welcome. I'm going to have some hot dogs, maybe some hamburgers, and then if you guys just bring side dishes, we'll just hang out by the campfire and let the monkeys run around and play and just kind of get together, spend time with each other, because I don't know about you, but that's what I've been missing. I've been missing just spending time with other humans. So bonfire going down this Friday night. Hopefully you can be there. Also, mark your calendar for July 5th. It is obviously the Sunday after the holiday, but we are going to have an all-day hike. I'm still not sure of the exact location, so stay tuned. If you have suggestions of specific places you would like to go, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Totally happy to see what all options we have, but it will be all day July 5th. Come prepared. I'm excited. Invite your people. Let's have fun. And the big, huge, amazing, exciting news, Kyra and I have been planning all the events and the retreats, and shit's about to go down, so buckle up right now. But the first thing to be announced is the Summit Girls Weekend. Beachbody announced that they are going to have a virtual coach summit, and let's be honest, we love spending time together. So we are planning a Summit Girls Weekend, July 17th through 19th in Indianapolis. How it will work is you guys will be able to start arriving the 16th, and then Kyra and I will host at our house that we have rented. We'll host the different parties there, so you can come and hang out. All the food will be provided for the weekend. We'll watch the trainings together. We'll do the super workouts together, and it's going to be freaking amazing. So if you're going to come hang out in Indy with us, then make sure that you go into Divine Dynasty to the events tab and RSVP there in the next weeks to come. I'm going to be scheduling, or I'm going to be, not scheduling, posting. I'm going to be posting daily things that you should be aware of, things, how to prepare, what to know for that event. Upcoming for Beachbody. I hope you guys have been talking about this. If not, now is the time to start. On Tuesday, let me double check that. On Tuesday the 23rd, Salted Caramel Shakeology is going to be releasing. The FAQ for that is 7705. I hope you are getting your hands on some, and I hope you are getting some product in your coach's hands or customers' hands, all the people's hands. Also, MBF sample workout is releasing June 29th. The FAQ for that is 2090. But speaking of MBF, I have not announced it to anyone yet. We will be having a test group for that. So stay tuned as my newsletter gets emailed out tomorrow or the next day on how you can apply to be in the test group for this program. I know I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to go through it. I freaking love making babies, and I have a feeling that this is going to be the exact program that I love. So today, I am talking all about communication. Communication is total key when it comes to building this business because, well, we are in a people business. It is social media, it is network marketing, and what does that mean? It means that you have to be social, and it means that you need to know how to network with other human beings, 100%. I think of a lot of the times when we look at the business activity tracker or we hear, I love making babies. I mean, I like practicing that too. Anyways, back to the topic. It is such a social business. What we do when we look at the business activity tracker, sometimes we can look at it and be like, invite people, but I don't even know what I'm doing. How can I invite people to this too, right? Like it can be a little daunting. It can be a little overwhelming. Imposter syndrome can sneak in like nobody's business, right? But I think what is most important to understand that the secret sauce to this business is you. And why are you the secret sauce? Well, because you're human and people get to relate to who you are. And I think that right there is the most powerful thing, is the fact that you are the difference maker in your business. You are the person who has the power to help someone else. It's not because you had amazing transformation. It's not because you're a magic energy drink. It's not because it's yada, 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 whatever it is we think it is, right? Sometimes we post for the likes and we forget that what we're doing is we're trying to build a business that other people can relate to. We're trying to just honestly extend our hands so that they can sit beside us and work with us. And so when I say communication is key, it is very vital that you're making your daily posts. It is very vital that you're inviting. But if you're coming in there thinking, oh, all I have to do is cold invite, sell, guess what? You're going to feel at the end of the day super, super icky. And you're also going to feel very worn out. I don't want you to send 100 cold market message invites. Hey, I have a boot camp coming up. Join me. Because that's not authentic. That's not fun. That's not exciting. I'm sure that, I know for me, it does not fire me up. And I'm sure for you, you probably feel the same way. For me, what I like to do is I like to make friends. And the cool thing about our business is our first priority is to take care of us. And our second priority is to make as many freaking friends as possible, right? That is your job. Your job is to be a professional friend maker. And I really want you to think of your business like this. If instead of saying, how can I sell this to someone? If instead you ask yourself, how can I make a new friend today? How different is that going to feel? How different are you going to show up in the messages that you're sending? How different are you going to show up in what you're sharing? How much more different are you going to show up in the business that you're building, right? I know you guys hear me talk all the time about how Divine Dynasty and coaching changed my life because of the community. And that's because it's true. That is the thing that changed my life. Having these friends, having people there for me, cheering me on, encouraging me when I felt like I couldn't, when I just wanted to give up and I wanted to throw in the towel, when life was so damn hard that all I did was wear this dark cloud of gloom and terrible feelings. I had someone who was there to pick me up. And so that is your job as a coach, to be the light for others. Not because you're crazy inspiring, not because you lost 500 pounds, not because you make $1 million, right? Like that's not it. The reason that you show up every single day is so that you can give hope in someone else, that they have someone to lean on, someone they can relate to show what's possible for them. And so when you're doing your business activity tracker, when you're sending them the messages, yes, you can 531 all day. Yes, you can send mass invites. Yes, you can do all these things just to check the box. But I want to ask you, do you mean it? And I genuinely want to know, do you mean that you really want to help the person on the other end? Or are you just doing it to check the box? Because if you mean it, then you're going to realize that every conversation you have is going to be so incredibly different. Every person that you're talking to is a human being, and they matter on the other end of the message. And when you can instead put your heart in front of that, you're going to show up with feeling and with meaning in your conversation. When you can just genuinely show up as a friend and be that person for them, it's going to take out the imposter syndrome, because guess what? You're not doing anything other than cheering on a friend, right? And I think that's what I want you to start leaning on. 531ing is cool, but how many times have you been 531'd and you look at it and you're like, cool, this girl just 531'd me? Or how many times have you gotten a message and said, cool, this girl just sent me an invite? How many times have you received that, been on the receiving end and been like, cool, and then you unfollow them, unfriend them, or whatever it is, right? Like, you're like not interested at all. If you're feeling that way, guess what? The person on the other end of that message is feeling that way too. So I know when I talk about 531ing, I say the concept, but what I say afterwards is you got to do what feels right for you. Because for me, liking 5 pictures, commenting on 3, and sending a message feels way too much. I want to like a couple pictures, I want to send you a comment, and I want to watch your story, right? And that's it. It's very simple. Why? Because I just want to be your friend. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm not trying to loop you into my girl gang. I want to be your friend, and I want to connect with you, and I want to get to know you. And how do you do that other than watching other people's stories, other than genuinely, authentically communicating on their posts, other than actually asking them how they are? If you're not getting to know your audience, then your audience is not going to be authentic. And trust me, I've been here for 5 years. I've tried it all. I've done it all. I've sent the cold messages. I've been that girl to do the gangster rap challenge and not connect with anyone, right? Like, I just sent the message. And while sending the message is important, what's more important is that you're building relationships when you do it. Every human you sign up, there should be a relationship there. Every conversation you have should be a relationship. You should actually be invested in their best interest. And I know that can be daunting and it can be exhausting, and especially if you feel like, I can barely keep my head above water. I don't even know what's going on in my life. How am I supposed to be that person for other people, right? I don't know if anyone else feels like that, because I know I do sometimes. But the truth is, when I help other people, I feel better. When I help other people, I don't feel alone. When I have other people here beside me, I feel more empowered. And that's the secret sauce. Being able to lift other people up, being able to cheer other people on, that's the nature of this business. You may say, well, you know, I want to do this, but I don't have time to do an action hour. I want to do this, but I just haven't sat down and actually worked. I want to do this, but. That's because you're putting that imposter syndrome and that fear in the way. You're focusing too much on hitting Success Club and selling challenge packs and locking in goals instead of just being a decent human being, because honestly, that's our job. Your job is to be a decent human being and cheer other people on. You want to know how I build up to 5-star? Because every single day when I rocked my baby, nursed him at nap time, I was in my Facebook commenting on other people's stuff, cheering on other mamas, genuinely caring about the other people on the end of the computer. I was making real friendships, because sitting at home all by myself was the loneliest I had ever felt. And maybe you're the person who's like, well, that's fine, but what if I don't want to make friends? If you don't want to make friends, girlfriend, you are in the wrong business, right? Like, that's what we do. And I really want to kind of just gut check you and remind you of what you're doing when you're actually sending connections. I know a lot of times I get people who are like, but I don't know how to connect with people. And that's when I'm going to call bullshit, for one, because don't you dare tell me you don't know how to talk to a human being, right? That's just your fear talking right there, because I know every single one of you who are watching this video, and I know that you treat me like your friend. I know that you love me. I know that you can be a good friend. So if you're sitting there saying, I don't know how to talk to humans, how do you talk to me? How do you talk to your other best friends? How do you show up in your day-to-day life? That's how you show up for other people when you're messaging them. That's it. And it's super crazy. For me, something that I've been doing recently, because I know I've gotten away from my power hours, and until I introduced the Emerald Tribe, I wasn't doing them. I was doing busy work. And what I found was that I feel like there's so many different places that I can be. So I've narrowed it down. Monday and Fridays in my challenge group. That's when I reach out to those people and I'm there for them and I ask them how they are and I check in with them. Tuesdays, that's when I'm checking in with everybody who's watching my Facebook stories. I send every single one of them a message. I go to every single one of their pages. I go love on all their content, and I am genuinely being their friend. If they're taking time out of their day to spend time in my stories, then damn it, I'm going to take time to spend time in theirs, right? Wednesdays is my Instagram. That's where I go love on them and I go check them out and I figure out who's actually following me and what are they doing in their life. And then Thursdays, that's when I go to the team page and I go check in with coaches I haven't talked to in a while. That's when I go see what people are up to and I cheer them on. And it may not be a perfect system. Hell, I don't even know if it is a system. I've just actually started implementing it. But to me, it takes this insane workload of craziness that I have out here that can keep me busy, and it narrows it down and it gives me a game plan and it helps me feel successful and it allows me to connect with the people who matter to me, the people who are invested in my journey and in a relationship with me. And so that's kind of something that's been helpful. Some people ask, well, what do I say? And today I'll just be very honest. A lot of the message I sent was, happy Tuesday. I hope you have the best day. 100%. That was it. Super simple. Some people who I'd never messaged before, I said, hey, happy Tuesday. I hope you have an awesome day. And I just want to let you know I'm so thankful that you love on my stories all the time. It really means the world to me. Super simple. And then if I know the people, if they're coaches like you, then I'm going to send you a message and say, hey girl, what's up? How you been? Or I'm going to watch your story and I'm going to love on it and I'm going to cheer you on. And so that's really all that it takes. Do you see someone sharing a fire selfie? Then you better be, yes, girl, queen, you are freaking fire, right? Like you see someone crushing their workout at 9 p.m. when they didn't feel like it. That's when I'm going to shout them out and say, yes, I'm so proud of you. When I see someone who's having an anniversary or birthday, I'm going to say, congratulations or happy birthday. And it doesn't have to be crazy or intimidating or this script that you have to come across. You are a decent human being and you know how to talk to other human beings. And if you can take away the sale, if you could take away the messiness of what you have to do in your action hour and instead just say, hey, I get to spend the next hour making friends, how much different would it feel? Right? You can spend an hour making friends, can't you? Because how much time do you spend scrolling social media? How much time do you spend watching Netflix? What if for 1 hour every single day, your job was to show up and just be a friend? Just go make new friends. Yeah? Because that really is your job. If you really break down the BAT, that's what it comes down to. You're connecting. And I want that to be your goal. When you're connecting like a boss, when you're communicating with other humans, you're making these relationships, then everything that you're doing on the back end, the posts that you're making, the stories that you're making, that's when it falls in place naturally. Because guess what? As you're creating these relationships, these people get to be like, oh girl, I saw your transformation and it was so awesome. I wish I had your motivation. And then from there, that is the gateway to, hey girl, do this with me. Because they open that door and you get to walk right through that and you get to close that sale. Why? Because they saw you show up authentically. But again, I'm going to come back. If you're not showing up for your health and if you're not sharing your journey, that's where we fall short. It does take two sides of the coin in order to make it work in perfect harmony. You have to be showing up in your own health and fitness and sharing posts. And you have to be making relationships so that you have someone to invite to and something to talk about. That's why the action hour is so powerful. But if we're not using the action hour to actually create relationships and actually communicate with other human beings, that's where we fall short. When we use it as a check mark box to like, oh, yep, I messaged 5 people today. Oh, yep, I sent 2 invites today. Oh, yep. And you just check that box, it's not going to feel good. And you're not going to hit those goals because it's not authentic. You're not actually able to be a part of these other people's lives. And so that is totally the key here. Your goal is to communicate and show up sharing so that they have something to invite themselves to, so they have something that they know they get to be a part of it. And I know it can be scary. And I know sometimes we're afraid of rejection. But the truth is, what's the worst that's going to happen? You get to inspire someone else. You find out that maybe that person isn't the kind of friend that you want. All right, well, then I count both of those as wins. I want to know right now, when it comes to connections and communication, what are the biggest things that hold you back? Because I really want to help you overcome this like communication roadblock to help you win. I want to help make this business as successful as possible for you, limited amount of time so that you can crush your goals by creating freedom. Like, that's what I want. I don't want you to be where I was for the past 5 years, so obsessed, so in trance with my business that that you can't even start, like that it's too much for you. I don't want this to be too much for you. I want this to be fun for you. I want this to be exciting for you. I want you to be fired up about this. If you're not so fired up about helping people change lives, then I'm gonna have to ask you why are you not fired up? Yeah. So Faith, you said word vomit. Word vomit is so easy, especially when you're so obsessed with the products that you have to offer. And I think honestly, a lot of that can just, you have to remind yourself when you're doing it. It becomes kind of habit. So when you're talking to someone, it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, girl, oh my gosh, let me tell you about my workouts and my pre-workout, and all these things. And they see this 14 paragraph message and they're like, the fuck? And they just are out, right? But if instead you can just baby steps. So what I had to tell myself was 3 sentences at most, no more than 3 sentences at a time. And so what that taught me was how to get very specific about what I wanted to say and how to make it be more like I was talking to my friend. So I had to ask myself, what would I say to Kyra? If she sent me a message and said, you're so motivated, I wish I was as motivated as you. What would you say in 3 sentences? Like, I want all of you right now to say 3 sentences that you would say if someone sends you a message and says, you're so motivated, I wish I was as motivated as you. And I'll type out what I'm going to say, what I would say too. You got to think about this. All right, here's some of the answers that we got. Girl, it's not motivation, it's determination. I feel so much better after I work out that I make myself do it for the feeling afterwards. I love that. Girl, I haven't always been this way. It's taken me consistently showing up, having an awesome girl tribe of support, and getting desperate to feel better to get to where I'm at today. Freaking love that. Thanks. It isn't always easy to stay motivated, but I have an amazing community that helps keep me accountable. Boom. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. But the thing that I want you to do, those are all absolutely perfect, and hit it right like that, like no word vomit anywhere. We all talked about community, the support, the accountability, and it's a decision. But then I want you to add a question at the end. And I don't care what question it is, something to just keep them coming back. So it's not like an ended conversation, because you know how sometimes you can send a message and you're like trying to hold the conversation and then they say something and you're like, okay, now what do I say? Like they don't leave anything for me to say. This is your job to give them something to answer back. So for what I did was, are you doing a program now? Well, something that I ask often is, are you on a health and fitness journey too? Stuff like that. Hopefully that's a little bit helpful. And then from there, it's like literally 3 sentences at a time is what I kind of guide myself on. 3 sentences at a time, a little bit at a time. Not knowing what to say. Ashley, girlfriend, you are the most friendly person in the whole wide world. You always know what to say. What the heck are you talking about? I think when it comes to not knowing what to say, we overthink it a lot. So for example, if you're scrolling your social media, I'm just going to pull mine. Hold up. And pull up my social media. So I'm just going to go to the last 3, and I want you guys to do this with me. Go to someone right here. What a wonderful anniversary. And I'm going to go love it. And I'm going to read it. And then I'm going to comment. Happy anniversary. Those flowers are beautiful. Super simple, super easy. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next one. And something's broken. And I'm going to say, did you call Mr. Fix It? And then I'm going to tag my husband. Because she's actually a friend of ours and he's really good at helping people. Okay. And then here's someone who got nominated for something awesome. She works in the ICU. And so I'm going to comment, oh my goodness, how amazing. You are the best. Or something like that. I got to finish reading it. And honestly, that's all you have to do when it comes to knowing what to say. I mean, each thing's different, so I don't know what to tell you for each individual thing. It's just being very authentic in their posts. And if you see someone who's posting dumb stuff, unfollow them. Like, just genuinely, like, if you're like, why are you posting this? Or you totally get that's not my vibe, just unfollow them. Or you can like snooze them for 30 days, or you can just totally unfollow them, or you can unfriend them, whatever works for you. But if they're not your person, they're not your person. And I think that's totally okay, being picky about who your friends are. Here's one of the little boy got a haircut. So I'm going to comment and say, oh my gosh, he looks so big. They don't have to be crazy, insane, mind-blowing comments. And the same for stories. So when you're going into stories, you just go up to the top and look at somebody's story who is not on the team. Go send some likes and some hearts. Comment on something if you see something cool. Or if they have a cute kid, something. So like this is a picture of Acacia's baby talking. And I genuinely just sent her a message of like, oh my gosh, he is so cute, because I'm obsessed with her babies. But you can do that genuinely through everyone that you see. If someone went on an adventure, I know a lot of the times, like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous there, is what I send. Or, oh, where did you guys go? It looks so cool. Something like that. Hopefully that's helpful, Ashley. Natalie, getting ghosted. If these people are ghosting you, unfollow them. And I honestly am going to get to a point in my stories where I'm like, hi, if you're going to be rude and ignore me, I'm not letting you watch my stuff. Peace out. Because I think that I'm just going to say it. My mom taught me not to be rude. And so I will never ignore someone's message. And if someone's going to ignore mine, then I don't need them in my life. And maybe that's a little bit too much. I know sometimes when it's sending invites, which is different than communication, like invites is a whole nother story versus communication and connections, completely different. If you're getting ghosted on invites, then just keep sending them until they tell you to stop sending them. Too much money, then that's when you should be making more posts about the investment, more posts about what you're getting, like why it's worth every penny, why it makes a difference in your life. If you can bust their myths before they even get the opportunity to say it, to throw out their excuse, then it's going to be like, oh, well, I can't say that it's too much money because you just showed me how I'm actually saving money, right? So for me, what I say a lot of the time is, girl, I thought it was too much money too. And that was until I tried it. I realized that I actually spend way less now because I'm not going out to eat as much. I'm not spending as much at Walmart. And I actually have a game plan. So I'm not buying things that I don't need. And it's 100% genuine and authentic. So honestly, just showing them the value and everything that they get in that with through your daily posts and what you're saying in your stories. Okay. Perfect. So hopefully this was kind of helpful on the communication end. I know sometimes, like I said, we can overthink it and we can stress about it. But let's say from now on, your job is to be a professional friend maker for 1 hour a day. Do you have time to spend an hour being a friend? If you say yes, then good. Every single day, you're going to be connecting like a freaking boss. You're going to be watching stories and you're going to be commenting on people's stuff, right? And then the other half of your job is showing up for your own health and fitness, showing up for your happiness. Are you able to move your body? Are you able to drink your shake? Are you able to eat right? Good. Then that's what it's going to take. And that's all that it is. That's what this coaching business comes down to. And it truly just doesn't matter to you is what it comes down to. Are you willing to show up to help other people? Are you willing to show up for your dreams and your goals? Because at the end of the day, you are all amazing human beings and you all know how to communicate. And if we're not communicating, that's where we're dropping the ball. That's where we don't know who to talk to. That's where we lose people to invite. And so that's what I want you to focus on. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off of here? Nope. All right, y'all. Then thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you are here, and I hope this was so helpful. I will talk to you later.